You know how sometimes there's something that exists and you're aware of its existence, and someday you just wake up and realize what that actually means? I had such an experience recently with this thing called NoFap, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's a community that's based mostly on Reddit of dudes who don't fap. And this is not as one might hope, because if one has a little hope in humanity, one might hope that a group of people who for medical reasons can't masturbate and who try to help each other out with the problems that brings if one tries to live in a society, in a healthy human life, right? No, this is a group of people who advocate for men not to masturbate. That is what NoFap is. And the science behind this all springs from a single 2004 Chinese study where they found that a man who hasn't masturbated in a week has increased levels of testosterone, which, if you know anything about sexual science, human biology, whatever, you will know that is that man's body telling him to fucking clean the pipes. And I mean, of course, the whole thing about the one study having the one finding and how that's unscientific, I hope I don't have to get into why that is the case. The NoFap community believes that masturbation is unhealthy, right? They say that it reduces testosterone levels. They say it leads to premature ejaculation when there is actual intercourse, which these men tend to not be against. They blame it for erectile dysfunction and also for depression, which is mostly paired with the second element that is also very prevalent in the NoFap community, which is that they don't like porn. Now, the problem with all of these things is that not only is there zero scientific evidence to back any of these claims, but as a matter of fact, the evidence is very strong in the opposite direction of that. It counteracts depression by essentially releasing a dopamine nuke in your brain. It combats erectile dysfunction. It combines premature ejaculation. And it also does not lower testosterone levels in any way. As a matter of fact, people who have just masturbated often have marginally higher testosterone than before. One should realize that more testosterone does not make a man more manly or better, right? Testosterone is something that is good, and you should have a significant amount of it, but too much of it is also unhealthy, because too much of anything is unhealthy. This is pretty basic shit. Masturbation is a fantastic stress reliever too. It is used by many men who work in high-pressure environments to get over the fact that they are working in high-pressure environments, which are extremely stressful and put a massive mental strain on them. It leads to releases of cortisol, which will boost your immune system, even though, oh, the evil cortisol is a stress hormone. Yes, you also need a little bit of stress hormone in your body to function properly. Masturbating and mastering your lust, essentially, will lead you to last longer in bed, too. Oh, and did I mention the main point of why masturbation is so healthy that you should be doing it at least a couple times a week? It is the main thing that you can do against prostate cancer. Masturbating daily reduces your risk of suffering from prostate cancer by 33%. And because masturbation is a normal thing that normal men do at a normal rate, not doing these things will lead you to losing all of these health benefits. Now, there are two main groups of people in the NoFap movement that I would like to address. Of course, the NoFap movement is a diverse movement with people who have a lot of reasons to be there, a lot of different reasons, a lot of different persons. These are the two main groups I would like to speak to. First, you have the people who have legitimate disorders. Maybe they masturbate excessively. Maybe they are actually addicted to pornography, right? I implore you to go seek professional help. Do not, I repeat, do not just believe some wacko guru on the internet with his social group cronies so they can pressure you into accepting that bloke's treatment for a problem that you legitimately have. None of the people involved in NoFap have absolutely any expertise in what they are talking about. They are not sexual therapists. They are not any type of psychiatrist or psychotherapist. They are not scientists in this field. You know how I know this? Is because there are a lot of people who talk about this movement, who are sexual therapists, who are psychiatrists, who are neurologists, and all of them say that either no, NoFap has absolutely no health benefits that are beyond that of a placebo, or NoFap is actually dangerous for you. I mean, dangerous is a strong word. It's not immediately dangerous, but it's certainly not healthy. If you believe that you masturbate excessively, if you believe you're addicted to pornography, or the other way around, or both, or whatever of these two things, seek professional help by trained medical personnel, not random people on Reddit. Then there's a second group that is also involved with NoFap, and this is probably the one that is much bigger because, let's be honest, there's not that many people who masturbate excessively so that it's a medical problem. And the second group of people is young, sexually inexperienced men who really want to blame something that isn't themselves for the fact that they aren't slaying pussy. I mean, it's easy, right? You're like 17, you've never had sex with anyone, you can barely talk to women, you feel like all of your mates have already had sex since they were 11, which, let me tell you, they haven't. That's not what happened. They were lying to you. And then suddenly, there is something that you can change, something that you are an expert in. You learn about all of these facts, that it turns out masturbation is the only reason that you can't get pussy. And if only you stopped doing this thing that you believe you could actually stop doing because you understand it so well, you know so much about it, if only you stopped doing that, you would magically change. You would become manly and you would become socially active and you wouldn't be nervous around girls anymore. And let's be clear, this can happen to you. You can be one of the people who do NoFap and get some of the benefits, I mean, not of course the physiological benefits, but the mental benefits that NoFap promises. Why is this? Well, there's a little something called the placebo effect. You could get all of these things and still masturbate. It's just that you have told yourself that it is your masturbation habits that these things are contingent upon. Humans are very susceptible to these kinds of biases, especially when they are perpetrated by a group that they associate themselves with. And NoFap is built not entirely, because it's a heavy word, but it has a lot of the makings of a cult. It is an echo chamber community of people who will use anecdotes and a weak understanding of how science works, especially in regards to correlation and causation, in order to have you engage in a behavior that is physiologically and psychologically abnormal. They will try to make you invested in the idea of NoFap by becoming a social community, because this is how people get very involved with ideas that are very nonsensical. They give them a social community of people that they can share these ideas with. They encourage you to demonstrate your virtue inside this group by publishing how long your streak is, by keeping track so that other people in the group can police you as to whether or not you are following the virtues of the group. And if you do not, you will be shamed, while at the same time a hand will be extended to you and they will say, hey, it's okay, we can help you through this shaming that we are subjecting you to, if only you come deeper into the fold. Does that sound familiar to anyone? Does that sound like literally how cults operate? Because that's what it is. It's essentially just a religion of NoFap. It's the same bullshit that Christians have been telling us for centuries and that feminist theory has been telling us for decades. Neither of these things are in any way scientific. They are a mechanism of shame into behaviors that these people consider immoral, and they will try to find scientific evidence to support their claims, but at the end of the day, they are on the same level of scientific validity as anti-vaxxers, which is none. This Christian science that masturbation will make you go blind, that hair will grow on your hands, it's been bullshit for centuries, and it is still bullshit, even if you repackage it as modern and atheistic and really just a scientific health thing. It is the same bullshit nonsense science, and it is as much true now as it was back then. If you do actually have medical problems with masturbation, I only want to reiterate, please do go seek professional help. If you just are just a dude who hasn't scored pussy yet and needs something to blame, don't be involved with these people. It's bullshit. What they're saying is bullshit. You don't know yet, but you will find out eventually. It is bullshit. Come on the Discord server. We're all real men there, and we're all real women. There probably is very few women on the Discord server. I mean, I don't check, but there's a lot of MTF trans people on the Discord server. That's, I think, the only women that I have. Thank you very much for watching. Consider supporting me with the currency of your choice on Patreon. Make a support, but choose Patreon because making support is functional. It's dysfunctional. I said functional, but maybe you didn't hear that. Like, subscribe the video, comment on Twitter, and subscribe also to the Twitter and follow me on Google+. All the things you will find in the description. Thank you very much for watching. I wish you all a pleasant day. Please go masturbate. It is very healthy for you. If you're a man or a woman, I mean, NoFap doesn't really concern women, so that's why I didn't really talk about women in this video. But if you're a woman, also masturbate. It is healthy for you. In that spirit, have a great day, and see you around, cunts.